What is up, everybody? JT Dangerously once again. I am back from my Week 11 NFL predictions. Now, Week 10 just ended with the New York Giants defeating the San Francisco 49ers tonight on Monday Night Football. So Week 10 is in the books, and now we're into Week 11 of the NFL season. So I'm very excited to do these Week 11 predictions for you guys, and I hope you guys do enjoy. Now, our record coming into Week 11 after a very good Week 10, we went 9-6. So our overall record coming in is 58-2. So we're coming in hot. We haven't had a losing record since Week 3, and I'm looking to keep it that way. So hopefully in this video we will continue the winning ways. We're on a 7-week winning streak. Hopefully in this video we're going to make it 8. Now, if you have not checked out my 4 other videos I put up on the channel today, definitely go check them out. This is the 5th and final video of the night, so hope you guys will be able to watch all of these videos. As always, show your support by watching these videos, super kicking those like buttons, hitting that notification bell, and commenting your picks, your opinions, and representing your NFL teams in the comment section down below. Now, if this is your first time watching my channel, as a first-time viewer, and this is your first video, boy, pick to go in if you're a huge NFL fan like myself, and you're ready for Week 11 of the NFL season. Welcome to the Dangerous Alliance. I'm JT Dangerously. Welcome to the club, because this club is 2. Whoop, whoop. Again, thank you guys so very much. Now, other than that, let's get right into these predictions. Starting off first with the buys. Now, if you are a fantasy football owner like myself on Yahoo, ESPN, or NFL, and you have players that are on buys, make sure you have suitable replacements for them. Now, the 6 teams that are on buy this week are the Buffalo Bills, the Cleveland Browns, the Miami Dolphins, my New England Patriots, the New York Jets, and the San Francisco 49ers. So if you have any players on any of those 6 teams, make sure you have suitable replacements for them, and you'll be ready for your next fantasy football matchup. Now let's start off on Thursday Night Football with the Green Bay Packers heading to CenturyLink Field to face my Seattle Seahawks. Now the Green Bay Packers are coming off a big win at home over the Miami Dolphins on Sunday. Aaron Rodgers had a solid game, 199 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Aaron Jones on the ground with over 145 yards rushing with 2 touchdowns. Devontae Adams with 2 receiving touchdowns. And Green Bay are looking to continue the winning ways and get it done on the road on Thursday night. Down here side, you have the Seattle Seahawks coming off their tough loss on the road to the Los Angeles Rams on Sunday. We were so close in beating the Rams, but they got it done late in the game. Russell Wilson had another fantastic game with only 176 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. Rashad Penny, the former San Diego State Aztec, with over 108 yards rushing and a touchdown. Tyler Lockett with also a receiving touchdown. But once again, Seattle fell short, and they're looking to rebound and bounce back at home on Thursday night. So coming from me in this huge matchup on Thursday Night Football, oh man, this one's tricky. Man, I'm going to go, and if I get this one wrong, I will admit it, I'm going to go with my Seattle Seahawks to rebound and bounce back and defeat the Green Bay Packers in a close matchup on Thursday Night Football. And now the Sunday slate. That starts at 10 a.m. here on the West Coast, 1 p.m. on the East Coast. Starting off with an AFC North showdown between the Cincinnati Bengals heading to Baltimore to face the Baltimore Ravens. Now, Cincinnati Bengals are coming off that shellacking they got on Sunday at home to the New Orleans Saints. They got absolutely manhandled. And I mean, when I say manhandled, they put up 50 points on Cincinnati. It was bad. It was like a massacre on 34th Street. That is for sure. Andy Dalton did not have his best game, 153 yards passing, a touchdown and 2 picks, and Jeff Driscoll was their only touchdown in that whole game, and it was just bad. It was just a bad game for Cincinnati, and they're looking to rebound and bounce back on the road and defeat a hated AFC North rival. Down here side, you have the Baltimore Ravens coming off a bye in Week 10, so they're going to be coming in fresh. They're going to be coming in healthy. Hopefully, they'll be starting a new quarterback in Lamar Jackson, hopefully. And Baltimore's looking to come off a bye with a big win against an AFC North rival. So coming from me in this AFC North showdown, I'm going to go with the Baltimore Ravens. Hopefully, they will start Lamar Jackson and defeat the Cincinnati Bengals. And now the next matchup. It is an NFC North rivalry showdown between the Minnesota Vikings heading to Soldier Field to face the Chicago Bears. Now the Minnesota Vikings are also coming off a bye in Week 10, so they're coming in fresh, they're coming in healthy, and they're looking to get a big road win against the NFC North leading Chicago Bears. Then on the other side, the Chicago Bears coming off a big win over the Detroit Lions on Sunday at home. Mitchell Trubisky had an amazing game, 355 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, 1 on the ground. Allen Robinson with over 133 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns, and Anthony Miller with over 122 yards receiving and a touchdown. But this Bears team is in first place in the NFC North, if you can believe it. But now is the time to see if they are legit now, because if they can knock off the reigning NFC North champs in the Minnesota Vikings at home, they'll be that team to say, hey, they are legit this year. So coming from me in this huge NFC North showdown, oh man, I know a lot of people would be picking Minnesota, but I'm going to go with the upset. I'm going to go with Mitchell Trubisky and the Chicago Bears to get it done and defeat the Minnesota Vikings in a close one. And now the next matchup is the Carolina Panthers heading to Ford Field to face the Detroit Lions. Now the Carolina Panthers are coming off that terrible blowout loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers on Thursday Night Football. They did not look good. They got blown out. The score was like 55-20. It was bad. It was a really bad game. Cam Newton, 193 yards passing, 2 touchdowns and 1 pick. Christian McCaffrey may have had his best game in that blowout loss with over 138 total yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 receiving, 1 on the ground, but Carolina is looking to rebound, bounce back, and get a big win against a top NFC team. Then on the other side, you have the Detroit Lions coming off their loss to the Chicago Bears on the road on Sunday, and who could believe the Lions are in last place in the NFC North. Matthew Stafford, 274 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Kenny Galloway with 78 yards receiving and a touchdown. Kenron Johnson with 51 yards rushing and a rushing touchdown, but once again, this Lions team is in last place, and they're desperately looking for a big win at home. So coming from me in this matchup, I'm going to go with Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers to rebound and bounce back and defeat the Detroit Lions. And now the next matchup, it is an AFC South rivalry showdown between the Tennessee Titans heading to Lucas Oil Stadium to face the Indianapolis Colts. Now the Tennessee Titans are coming off a big win at home against my New England Patriots on Sunday. Marcus Mariota with 228 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Derrick Henry with 58 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns. Davis with a receiving touchdown and Smith with a receiving touchdown. And Tennessee got a big win after their big win on Monday night last week. So 2 weeks in a row they have knocked off 2 top teams, especially my New England Patriots. And I'll even admit that they were the better team. We just did not show up in that game against Tennessee on Sunday. And they showed up. We obviously and absolutely didn't. And Tennessee's looking to make it 3 in a row. Then on the other side, you have the Indianapolis Colts coming off their big win over the Jacksonville Jaguars on Sunday. Boy, how the Jacksonville Jaguars have fallen. Andrew Luck with 285 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. Eric Ebron with all 3 of those touchdowns, with 2 receiving ones and 1 rushing one. And this Colts team is definitely one of those teams to look out for in the South. Other than Houston and Tennessee, you got to look out for Indianapolis being a legit threat. So coming from me in this AFC South showdown, oh, this one's going to be tricky. Marcus Mariota versus Andrew Luck. Indianapolis has definitely gotten better, and Tennessee is on a hot streak right now. So coming from me, I'm going to take the Indianapolis Colts to defeat the Tennessee Titans in a really close one. And now the next matchup, it is the Dallas Cowboys heading to the Georgia Dome to face the Dirty Birds, the Atlanta Falcons. Now the Dallas Cowboys are coming off a big win on the road on Sunday Night Football, defeating the Super Bowl champ Philadelphia Eagles. Dak Prescott had a big-time game with 274 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing. Zeke the Freak had 152 yards with 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing and 1 receiving. And the Cowboys are looking to get another big road win here. Then on the other side, you have the Atlanta Falcons coming off their loss to the Cleveland Browns of all teams on the road. Matt Ryan, even in a loss, had 330 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Hooper and Julio Jones were those 2 touchdown recipients. But Atlanta losing and getting exposed by Baker Mayfield and Nick Chubb of Cleveland definitely looked really bad on their part, because they just got exposed and got shredded by, of all teams, the Cleveland Browns. But it's Baker Mayfield. He usually gets it done. So coming from me in this matchup, man, can Dallas get another big win on the road, or will Atlanta get a rebound win at the Georgia Dome? So I'm going to go with the Atlanta Falcons to rebound at home and defeat the Dallas Cowboys in a close one. And now the next matchup, it is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers heading to Gotham to face the New York Giants. Now the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are coming off a loss to the Washington Redskins, and once again, this offense did nothing. Fitzpatrick had 403 yards, and when you have 403 yards, you're expected to have at least 2 touchdowns. He had 2 picks. So, and there was no offense on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers side. They scored just field goals, and that's pretty sad for a team that I thought was going to get better each and every year after that one winning season. And Tampa Bay is just floundering right now, and it's pretty sad. Then on the other side, you have the New York Giants coming off their big win tonight on Monday Night Football over the Niners, and they're looking to make it 2 in a row. So coming from me in this matchup, man, I may regret this pick, but I'm just going to go for it. If they get it, if they don't win this game, don't expect me to pick them next week. So I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hopefully they'll get it done this time and defeat the New York Giants. And now the next matchup, it is the Super Bowl champ Philadelphia Eagles heading to the Superdome to face the New Orleans Saints. Now the Philadelphia Eagles are coming off their loss at home on Sunday Night Football over the Dallas Cowboys. They, again, had a chance to win it, but they fell short. Carson Wentz with over 301 yards passing, 2 touchdowns and a pick, and Zach Ertz scored those 2 touchdowns Carson Wentz threw, and he had 86 yards receiving. But Philly is definitely not going to be making the playoffs this year if they continue to lose these kind of games. And I don't think they're going to even make the wild card this year either. So Philadelphia is looking to rebound and bounce back on the road. Then on the other side, you have the New Orleans Saints who are coming off their absolute slaughter of the Cincinnati Bengals on Sunday. I mean, it was bad. I mean, Drew Brees with 265 yards, 3 touchdowns. Alvin Kamara with 2 touchdowns. Mark Ingram with over 104 yards rushing and a touchdown. Michael Thomas with 70 yards and 2 touchdowns. And this Saints team, if you're talking about the scariest teams in the NFC, you're talking about the Saints and you're talking about the Rams, because this Saints team is going to be impossible to play at home. And if you play them outside of New Orleans, they usually put up monster numbers like they did in Cincinnati. So coming from me in this matchup, this could be a massacre game right here. So coming from me, I'm taking Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints to defeat the Philadelphia Eagles. And now the next matchup, it is the Houston Texans heading to D.C. to face the Washington Redskins. Now the Houston Texans are coming off a bye in Week 10, so they're going to be rested, they're going to be rejuvenated, they're going to have Deshaun Watson, DeAndre Hopkins, and Demaryius Thomas looking to get some big numbers, and Houston's looking to come off a bye with a win. Down here, I have the Washington Redskins coming off their big win over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Sunday. Alex Smith did have a solid game, 178 yards passing and a touchdown, and Josh Doctson with the only touchdown for the Redskins offensively, and their defense definitely got after Ryan Fitzpatrick, and Washington's looking to get a big win at home. So coming from me in this matchup, I got to go with Deshaun Watson, Demaryius Thomas, DeAndre Hopkins, and the Houston Texans to get a big win off a bye and defeat the Washington Redskins. And now the next matchup, it is an AFC West showdown between the Denver Broncos heading to Los Angeles to face the Los Angeles Chargers. Now the Denver Broncos are also coming off a bye in Week 10, so they're going to be rested. They're going to be looking to get a big win on the road and looking to knock off a top AFC West opponent. Then on the other side, you have the Los Angeles Chargers coming off their big win over the lowly Oakland Raiders on Sunday. Phillip Rivers had a monster game with 223 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Melvin Gordon had over 100 yards on the ground and a touchdown. And Keenan Allen had 57 yards receiving and a touchdown. But this Chargers team, when it comes to the top 2 teams in the AFC West, it's the Chargers, it's the Chiefs and the Chargers. And the Chargers looking to get another big win at home and knock off a perennial rival in the Denver Broncos. So coming from me in this matchup, I'm going to go with the Los Angeles Chargers and Phillip Rivers to defeat the Denver Broncos in a close one. And now the next matchup, a matchup that both teams are just terrible. It is the lowly Oakland Raiders heading to Glendale to face the Arizona Cardinals. Now, the Oakland Raiders are coming off a loss at home to the Los Angeles Chargers on Sunday, and they just look like shit. Derek Carr, 243 yards, no touchdown. What else is new? This Raiders team is just tanking for next year. And honestly, even if Phillip Rivers retires as a Charger or retires as an NFL player, do you really think they'll be the best team in the AFC West? I don't think so, even with the draft picks next season. And John Gruden is out of his mind if he continues to think this team is building up for a championship when they can't even beat the Chargers and they only have one win in the season. Then on your side of the Arizona Cardinals, who are even worse, they're coming off a loss to the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday. Josh Rosen with 208 yards passing, a touchdown and 2 picks. David Johnson with 2 touchdowns. If you can believe it, he was like a top guy in fantasy. He had a rushing and a receiving touchdown, but Arizona is just terrible. They're in last place in the NFC West, and the Raiders are last in the NFC, the NFC West. Last place Arizona, AFC West, last place Oakland Raiders. So this game is a complete lose-lose. And anybody who watches this game, definitely think about your lives for a second. So coming from me in this matchup, I don't even want to pick this game. If you got me like torturing me and making me watch it without blinking, go with Josh Rosen and the Arizona Cardinals to defeat the Oakland Raiders. And now the Sunday night matchup, it is a rematch of last year's divisional round matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers heading to Jacksonville to face the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, if you remember what happened in the divisional round last year, Jacksonville knocked out Pittsburgh to make it to the AFC Championship. So this is Pittsburgh's chance at revenge. Now, the Steelers are coming off their blowout win. I mean, they were possessed on Thursday Night Football over the Carolina Panthers. They put up a 50-burger on them. Ben Roethlisberger, 328 yards passing, 5 touchdowns. Antonio Brown, 96 yards receiving and a touchdown. James Conner, 65 yards and a touchdown. It felt like every player on their team had a touchdown in this game. And Pittsburgh is looking for that revenge. They're looking to get another big win on primetime. They're looking to put down the Jacksonville Jaguars at home. Then on your side, you have the Jacksonville Jaguars coming off their loss to the Indianapolis Colts, even though Blake Bortles did have a pretty solid game and a loss, 320 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. They're returning Leonard Fournette with 2 total touchdowns with a rushing and a receiving. But Jacksonville is definitely the team that was on top last year to being in last place in the AFC South. And it's pretty damn sad for a team that a lot of people thought was the Cinderella team last year, and they're turning into the pumpkin this year. So coming from me in this AFC divisional rematch on Sunday Night Football, if you think I'm picking against Pittsburgh after that game, you got another thing coming, folks. I'm taking the Pittsburgh Steelers to exact their revenge and defeat the Jacksonville Jaguars on Sunday Night Football. And now the Monday night matchup that will be played in Mexico City between 2 of the best teams in the NFL right now, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Rams. Now, the Chiefs are coming off a big win over the Arizona Cardinals. Not a blowout, but they got the W instead. Patrick Mahomes, not his best game, 249 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Tyreek Hill with 2 of those touchdowns and 117 yards receiving. So the Chiefs are looking to get a big win against the NFC's top team right now. Then on your side, you have the Rams coming off their big win at home over my Seattle Seahawks on Sunday. They nearly lost it, but once again, they got it done. Jared Goff with 318 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. Todd Gurley once again, 120 yards rushing and a touchdown. And Brandon Cooks with a receiving touchdown. But I also did hear that Cooper Kupp may have torn his ACL. So if they lost Cooper Kupp, that's a huge blow for the Rams. And the Rams are looking to get a big win on prime time in Mexico City. So coming from me in this matchup on Monday Night Football in Mexico City, oh, man. I'm going to go with Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs to get it done on prime time and defeat the Los Angeles Rams. And those are my Week 11 NFL predictions. Now, I want to thank you guys so very much for watching this video today. Comment below, who do you have winning in Week 11? Do you see any upsets happening? Let me know who you got in Week 11 in picks. And as always, represent your team in the comment section down below if you're an NFL fan. Let's have a conversation about it. Of course, I'm always on to see your comment, like it, and of course, reply right back to you because comments are absolutely always welcome on this channel. Now, I do want to thank you guys so very much for watching this video and all the videos I put up on the channel today. Again, thank you guys so very much. Now, before you guys go, you guys can never forget to do this. That like button, comment, share with friends, of course, super kick that like button like only you guys can. Of course, you can never forget to do this as well. That subscribe button, become part of this bigger and dangerous Alliance, and I will see you guys next week, the week of Thanksgiving, for 2 big football predictions. Later days, guys, and peace.